What's up, guys? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. You guys know the spiel by now, I'm sure. Corvette Weekly is the show where we talk about anything and everything Corvette. Tonight is the on week with David and Brandon. We got
Yep.
both of these guys in the house tonight, and we have some really interesting things to talk about as usual. But tonight we also have two kind of like cool little things happening. So the first one is we need 200 likes by the end of this video. If we get 200 likes by the end of this live video, I'm going to play a video for you of Brandon's car with long tube headers now. Well,
Yep.
they're not, are they technically long tube still?
I mean, I guess they're tri-Y. I don't know if they're considered long tube or not, to be
I
honest
think
with
they're
you.
as long as you can get on a C8.
Yeah,
There you
it's about
go.
It ain't getting
as
any
long a tube
longer.
as you're gonna get without
Yeah.
deleting shit.
So
Right.
if we hit 200 thumbs ups, this as soon as we hit 200 thumbs ups, I'm playing this video, and I'll tell you what, you guys are going to want to see this video because it is spectacular. We'll say,
Yeah, you have to see it, guys.
yeah.
Blew us away today. You have to see this video. You got to get 200.
Number two, we have a ridiculously awesome giveaway happening tonight, guys. And as you can see, the sponsor of the week is what we call Horsepower Pit Crew.
That's right.
I don't remember who coined that name now, but it was one of you guys. God,
Yeah, it was one of the viewers. Yeah.
it was one of the subscribers here. You guys coined the phrase Horsepower Pit Crew.
Michael McMurray.
Was it? Oh yeah,
I
it might
think so.
it might have been. It might have been no, it was
Mike McMurray.
McCurry. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's in here, he coined this phrase or this name, and the Horsepower Pit Crew is me, Horsepower Obsessed, David's DBM Racing, and Brand's Garage. So us together, Horsepower Pit Crew. Makes sense.
Love it.
So anyway, as the sponsor of tonight's video, we've all decided to go ahead and give away a painted Z06 intake. Now, if you guys haven't seen these before, you should know what these look like. David and Brandon actually installed one on my car at Corvettes at Carlisle. It is the torch red option. You can get them in any color you want. If you want neon pink, you got it. So
You got it.
this is normally roughly $2,800, David.
Without the painted throttle bodies black, with that it's $3,000. Yeah.
$3,000, and this could be yours tonight for an entry fee of $10. Now, every $10 is an entry, but we're going to raise this a little bit because this is a pretty significantly expensive product. Every $100 or more donated will get you two entry or double entries. So if you decide you really want this thing and you throw $1,000 at it, you're going to get a lot of entries and you're probably going to win. And that means you can win this thing for a third of what it actually costs. Tonight is the night, guys, and this giveaway is going to go until the end of November, so about a month from today. So we're going to run this thing for a month. That's 5 live videos, including this one. So if you want to get entered on this, you want to jump in on this as soon as you possibly can. This is going to be one of the best giveaways, one of the most expensive giveaways we've done on this channel yet. And it will make sure your Z06 is looking as absolutely cool as it possibly can. So the giveaway rules are the same. Up at the top of the chat is pinned the Venmo link. Any Venmos you send will come right into my phone here and I'll see them and we will get you added in on the giveaway. So
Yeah, and if you happen to get it for $600 and you send me your stock one for the core, you get it for free. So I mean, guys, like I'll still buy your core if you win this giveaway, guys. You cannot lose with this one.
that's fantastic right there. So literally,
Yep.
if you put in $500 and you win, David will buy your core and you'll actually walk away with $100.
There you go.
That sounds like a freaking win to me. So let's start doing that, guys. Let's get in on this giveaway stuff early. I want to get okay. Well, we already got one. Steve.
All right, Steve.
Steve paid $100. Amber, are you gonna write that down for me?
Yeah.
Steve pays Steve Robertson $100, so he gets in for 10, 20 entries. $100, 20 entries. So as of right now, if this giveaway were to end today, guess who wins? Steve. So
Steve.
we just got one from Kevin. We just got one from Kevin as well. Kevin Haran, $100, so he gets 20
The
entries
Grand
as well.
Poobah.
And guess what color, guys? Guess what color Kevin Haran's intake will be if he wins? Take a guess. Yeah, right? Okay. All right. Yeah, let's cancel that. All right. So
What was Steve's?
Steve was $100. He's 20.
Steve R. Robertson.
Robertson, yep. And then Kevin Horan for $100 as well. Matt Hurley, happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday, guys. We have, and yeah, Bill Miller, you got it right on the head. Who would have thought that the guy driving the Torch Red Z06 would want a Torch Red engine?
Exactly.
Fantastic
They
stuff.
do look good.
They
The Torch Red ones always come out good. They look good.
100%.
I want someone to do a pink one. I've been waiting for a pink one to pop up.
See, I always joke with the neon pink thing, but I kind of feel like I want that too. Like,
Somebody's
I
going to do it.
I want to see
eventually.
someone
I'll tell you, one
exercise.
girl that's friends with Kristen that has the pink wrap. If hers wasn't a Stingray, I guarantee you she would do it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Guaranteed.
Well,
There's
that's a good
R1
question.
Vet. Her
Professor
car would actually
Corvette.
probably look okay with a pink one. She's all
It
black.
really would.
Carbon
She could do
black.
pink intake and then do pink accents on the black. That would look sick.
Yeah.
Wheeler O'Hara, his car is Torch Red, so it was no
Yeah.
surprise that he wanted the Torch Red. intake,
Everything is
but-
torch red on Kevin's car.
Very-
He wears torch red socks and underwear at Carlisle.
Steve Robertson says premium giveaway, very premium, guys. This is, like I said, the
Yes.
most expensive giveaway we've had yet. This was David and Brandon's idea because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, but you could potentially win this thing. You could potentially win this thing for free. If you donate $500 and David buys back your core, you literally have spent nothing on this. I mean,
You
that's
make $100.
best case scenario right there, but
Yeah.
Squirrel Cage Garage says, what if you don't have a Z06? Wait until next week, Ken,
Right.
because starting next week, which is going to be starting in November, I have sponsorships signing on every month. So next week at this point, is going to be the full month of November is going to be Paragon Performance. Now, what that means is basically Paragon is signing on to be the sponsor of the live video for an entire month. So 4 weeks in November will be nothing but Paragon. We're going to be talking about their products, talking about the experience with their stuff, and they're going to be giving away a $500 gift certificate to their website that
There you go.
you will also be entered in for. Anybody who enters in for the intake here, you will also be entered in for that. Now, the way that's going to work is, let's say you donate $500 and you want that intake, and your name comes up. You get to choose which one you want. Do you want the intake or do you want the $500 gift certificate from Paragon Performance? If you take the intake, the next runner-up will get the $500 gift certificate from Paragon Performance. Now, come December, I've already seen a couple questions pop up actually from Kevin Horan. December is going to be Solar Performance. So we're going to have Solar Performance for the entire month of December. And they're going to be giving away all kinds of awesome stuff. We're going to be talking about their products. We're going to be talking about all of it. So, Kevin Horan, you had some questions about solar throttle bodies. Stay tuned. We're going to get all kinds of stuff answered because then in January, we got another awesome sponsor. Literally every month is going to be a ridiculously cool sponsor that's going to run on the live videos for 4 weeks straight and give away at least one of their products. Solar has told me they will be giving away 4. So every week in December, they will be giving away something. So yeah, you guys definitely want to stay tuned for this stuff. We're going to have ridiculously awesome giveaways coming up. Awesome information, awesome news, because there's stuff out there about the Solar Performance throttle bodies and stuff that I don't even know. We're going to be bringing on the guys who know the stuff. We're not going to have to speculate about anything. We're going to bring on the people who actually know what the bottom line is with all of these things. So, General Lee says, wow, I would love to change my intake to blue, but wifey calls my engine a lobster engine, and it was the first production red engine done. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, General. Why don't you enter to win this, change your intake to blue, and keep the original one. Can always swap it back.
Or,
and honestly,
or if you want a better version of the Edge Red, I mean, we do a better version of the Edge Red too.
Yeah.
they paint them
better.
really, really nicely. So, General, what you could do is always keep it off to the side. Always have it as an option just in case. And honestly, I watched David and Brandon install this thing for me at Corvettes of Carlisle. They had the old one off in 45 minutes and the new one on in about an hour. And that was only because whoever was supposed to bring the tools forgot a specific tool. So it would have been even less time to get it back on. Brandon's like, that's me.
But Bill was nice enough to take us over to the auto parts store. So he helped us out big time.
Seawolf06 says, very cool concept having sponsors of the month. Thank you. That was actually partially my wife's idea, believe it or not.
That is genius.
That
It was.
is
I'll
genius.
say partially because I'm the one that was like, "Huh, what about this?" And then she kind of twisted it a little bit, and it was even better. So we both kind of did it. But
There you go.
I also heard that Paragon's been doing supposed to do like a big Black Friday discount too. That's coming up.
it's coming up,
Oh,
Brandon. And
okay.
that's why they wanted to be on for November. So they're gonna have
Okay.
they're gonna have a lot of really cool Black Friday deals. That your $500 gift certificate, if you win it, would be very good to have.
Yeah, he was talking about that at the track day.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
so David Bright. Who is David Bright in here? Give me your screen name, David Bright, and if it ends up being David Bright, I'm gonna smack myself, I swear. But he donates $100, so he gets 20 entries as well.
Guys, you got to get on these thumbs up, though. I'm telling you, this video, you have got to see this, man. You
Yes,
got to
you
get
do.
on these thumbs up. It is epic.
Yeah. So if we get 200 thumbs ups, I'm gonna play you the video of Brandon's car with the new headers on the Z06.
Yep.
I'm telling you, you want to see it, and honestly, you want to see it for one specific reason, and I'll just tell you, it rhymes with fire. Red C8 Z06
Fire.
is
Yeah.
Dave Bright.
Yeah, it
I
does
couldn't think
rhyme
of
with
anything that
fire.
rhymed with fire, so fire.
No,
it
it
is.
rhymes with fire. It does. I mean, it's one of the best things I've ever seen, man. And I don't, Brandon, you said it's louder. I don't know
Oh, yeah,
how
it's-
your car
it's-
gets louder, bro.
It's
But
somehow
I
louder.
cannot wait to hear it.
Guys,
I got to get my decibel meter on it. I needed a second person, but I'll get
dude.
the actual decibels.
I can't believe it got louder. Your car's so loud already.
I know that's what I was
I had to
thinking
hold
when
my
you said
ears.
it was louder. I was like, it can't be.
I know.
No, it can. It
He said
can.
no,
It
it
is.
can.
All right, yeah, guys, if we could, let's hit the thumbs up. We got 120 people
Yeah,
watching,
guys.
87 thumbs ups. Let's hit 100 by 8 o'clock and then 200 by 8:30. And I play you one of the coolest sounding Z06s on YouTube right now. I think there's only one other car that I know that has those headers, and that was the test car, right?
Well, they Racing, I guess that's a Texas company, is a performance shop. They just put some on. I did see them put out an Instagram video. So there is another car floating
But
around.
I
that
didn't see
has
them on YouTube with theirs. So it was just an Instagram reel.
Yeah, it's an Instagram reel. I don't think they've
I
done a
didn't see
YouTube
it on
video,
YouTube.
just
Yeah.
an Instagram. But they put it on it. They did some clips of like drive-bys and stuff. Theirs aren't coded though. They have like a bare set. So
Yeah, but yours with the cat delete, I don't know how it got louder. I can't wait to hear it in person.
I don't know
Because
how
the
it got
video
louder.
is fire, dude. It's insane.
Okay, I think I was.
I don't know how it got louder. Yeah, I like that. Somehow it gets louder. So, really quickly, guys, I know I promised all you guys some behind the scenes footage of for the members. Totally forgot to upload that video, but I will be doing it tomorrow at this point. So any of you guys who want to join the membership program here on the Horsepower Obsessed YouTube channel, it starts at, I think, $4.99. It really helps out the channel, and I'm going to be, outside of the custom emojis that you guys have, I'm also going to be putting up some behind the scenes footage. And there's one other video that I might be throwing up where I try my hand at acting. And I'm still on the fence of whether or not I'm going to put that one out. But
Are you an actor?
yeah, you guys, you might want to check them out. So I'm going to post or paste the link for the memberships here in the chat. Again, if any of you guys are interested, don't feel like you have to do this. This is not me telling you have to by any means. It does help out the channel and I would appreciate it, but do not feel like you have to do this. The link is there. If you feel like you want to go ahead and join the membership, by all means, I would appreciate it. Larry Anthony, if you're just joining, welcome, first off. Second, I want to talk a little bit about the giveaway we're doing tonight, which is going to be the painted intakes from David, DBM Racing, and Brandon's Garage. They paint these things custom. You guys have all seen these by now on my car, which is right there. That's my setup. I love that David emailed me that. Thank you for that. I asked David to send me a bunch of painted pictures of these intakes, and he sends me mine. Yeah, I know.
I was stood there and I was like, "Damn, that's such a good picture." I have
Yeah.
to send it to him. So
Well, I know. Honestly, like as weird as it seems, I love that you did that because I would have had to dig for mine, and here it is in an email right to me. So this is obviously a torch red intake with the black throttle bodies in the middle. This is normally a $3,000 option, guys. You can win this tonight for donations of $10 or more. So $10 will get you one entry. We already have 3 people entered in at $100. The more you donate, the more entries you're going to get, obviously. Now, with this being a specific cost like this, David has already said too that if you donate $500, $600, number one, your chances of winning go way up. But number two, he's going to buy back your stock intake, so you're actually going to end up spending nothing because he's going to buy back your stock one for about $600. So
there you go.
Looks like we got another one here. William Miller, nice. He donates $100. That's Bill. So 20.
Bill? Who's Bill?
Bill Miller.
I know. You're serious right now?
So he wants himself some custom intake goodies. I'll tell you what, guys. This is one of the mods that gets the most questions, the most looks at a car show for me. People come up and say, how'd you get that intake that color? Because they're thinking I'm going to say, well, you just go on the dealership list and you check this box. Now, it's not quite that simple, but it is a nice option to have. So
yep.
Now, here's where things get really interesting with this. We're going to talk about news in a second. I just want to get this all out of the way for you guys first. Is David and Brandon can paint these things custom colors. If you send them a piece of vinyl or something that they can match the color to, just like this one here. This is matched to a gold of some kind. And you could see him holding the sample of the gold and then what the actual intake got painted, which is basically the same color. So when you say you might want to see a pink one or a neon pink, all you got to do is send them the little test sample and they'll be able to paint it whatever color you want.
Yeah, actually, there's a guy that I just talked to over the weekend who has he ordered a Sebring orange car coming in, and he's doing. We're not doing the calipers for him. He's going to do the calipers that Porsche lizard green, and he's doing a lizard green intake.
Nice, lizard green. That would be perfect. Yeah.
The Porsche green that you always talk about.
Yep. And
that's the best green. And he's doing that to match the orange. And I thought, wow. At first, I didn't think, but when he sent me pictures, and he has like some orange, I was like, okay. It works. It really, really works. So I'm excited.
Yep. Let's see. I had a question.
Bill mentioned, do you have pictures of the red mist? Justin, David, did you send those to him? Because Bill was asking.
I think I said the Riptide, the Rapid, I think the Arctic White one.
Nope, no red mist.
Oh, well, I think I have it, but I have to get off of here. But we have a red mist, Bill, by the way. It turned out probably the best.
You have it on your, well, you're not at home. Let's say David has it on his
mine's
car.
the Edge Red. No, but the Red Mist Metallic that we did.
Oh, right.
I agree with Brandon. It's either the Riptide or the Red Mist that are the two most beautiful ones so far that we've done. Like that Red Mist, I don't
know,
sent me pictures and I was like,
I don't know. Check this out. This is the Torch Red on a convertible with the black audible. I mean, I don't know. When I was at Carlisle and I got to see these things sitting on the table in front of Brandon and David, I was just like, I don't even want to install this. Like, this is just a piece of jewelry. It looks like something you want to hang on your wall in your game room or something. It is just, it's painted to perfection, first off. But second, it's just, there's so much pop. You can see this convertible car here is obviously a Torch Red car. Now you have a really nice piece of colored perfection in your engine bay to just match the car and look like it's supposed to be there, and that it was painted purposefully, we'll say. Because, like, if you get the Edge Red from factory, it's not the best quality paint. And it kind of doesn't look right because there's very little clear, if any, on it. And it doesn't have that pop that the picture you're seeing right now does. Now,
well, and that was one of the red Torch Red. There was a guy that has the silver with the Torch Red calipers, and he did a Torch Red intake, and he sent me pictures and a video. Man, alive. It looks so good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, if you guys
even the Edge Red, guys, if you have an Edge Red one, if you want, like, this is a giveaway. This is a win for you. Like, at first I was like, I don't know if are we gonna be any better than GM on the Edge Red? And Brandon's like, no, like, wait, and it's way better than the GM Edge Red. What do you say, Brandon? Like, light
for
years.
sure. It's
not even close, dude.
It's one of those things that's hard to capture, honestly, on camera. You have really
and then when you have them sitting right next to each other, and you see them, you're just like, wow, that's such.
I think it's the clear coat that really does it.
Well, and then Justin, I think you ceramic coated yours, didn't you? Like that's yours even pops you. Like I think you ceramic coated yours, right?
Yeah. So it's not an actual ceramic coating. It's like a spray SiO2 kind of thing. So it is technically ceramic, but yeah.
Yeah, but you have even more pop on yours. It probably is. So yeah.
Guys,
but the clear is awesome on these. The clear is absolutely awesome.
We got a new member, Larry Anthony. Welcome to the membership here. Larry, I'm going to be posting a behind the scenes kind of video this week for people to see. Anybody who's a member of the channel will get that. So thank you for coming aboard. Yeah, Brandon gets to welcome before I do. I'm behind on the comments here.
Yeah, I can't see comments tonight, so you guys are gonna have to help me out.
10-second eclipse. Oh my god, I'm still doing it. Still
calling him.
I'm still doing it. And I'm looking
but you're
right
giving
at
him an extra second. You're calling him a good.
Yeah, I'm giving him
an extra second.
Yeah. All right. So 10 seconds 06 says the blue one at Carlisle did look amazing. Love the edge yellow one too. So that was what I was going to say. If you guys want to go a little more, I don't want to even say conservative, but like if you want to move past the bright in your face torch red, there is, of course, the new Riptide Blue, which looks really good. We also, really well. Beside that, we also have the Arctic White, which
that one actually surprised me at how good that looked. And I'm trying to get Rob to get one of these on his car.
Yeah, he needs this. And I thought at first I was like,
white wheels and the white interior on the green wrap. Oh,
I was like, maybe green, but then I was like, nah. With the white wheels now, you go white.
Yep.
And then of course we got another angle of the Arctic White here, and then ultimately half of a Sebring orange.
Yeah, that was one of the display ones we did for Carlisle, but it's I've just got the one guy with a Sebring car yet, but he didn't want orange. He wanted the green, the Porsche green. So.
C8 Nate says Justin was a graphene spray. It was not. So there's really, for me, whenever you're using any kind of spray SiO2, I have two go-tos. The first one is a ceramic 3-in-1 wax from Griot's Garage, and the second one is just ceramic boost from Expel. Those are two of my favorite products for keeping up with a ceramic kind of spray. But really, a lot of them are made very similar, so you really can't go wrong with any of them. But I'll hit the entire engine bay with a ceramic boost from Expel pretty much once every 3 washes or so, just to make sure all the carbon fiber I have in there and everything is all as well protected as possible.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Shane, what's up, man? It's been a little bit since I've seen you in here.
Hey, there he is. We got to get those 200 thumbs up for that video, guys. You don't want to miss this, I'm telling you.
We are at 115 thumbs ups right now. That's pretty good. We just hit 8 o'clock, so that means we got half an hour to hit 85 more, right? Yeah, 85.
Yeah.
Let's do it, guys.
Good to see something that runs with fire.
You don't want to miss this video. This video is worth every bit of it. Trust me.
This is a good idea. Professor Corvette says we get Making of Corvette Weekly. Man, you do not want to see that. I'll tell you what. The Making of Corvette Weekly is messy. It is messy. What you get to see here, this looks like a fairly well put together production. It is an absolute disaster. 3 minutes before I hit go live. That's whenever everything comes together. So,
pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. But we were talking beforehand too about the outtakes kind of thing where, I was saying filming too, like I walk in and like smash my shin on a jack or something like that. It's just, the stuff happens nonstop. I would love to do an outtake video as well, but half of mine would have to just be beeped because once I go off the rails and screw something up, I just start cursing.
See, this particular video I was putting together, I filmed with the mindset that I'm going to try to keep some of the bloopers in here. And I didn't purposely make anything a blooper. It's just, as it went through, I just kept it.
You just let it go.
Yeah. Subconsciously, I knew I'm not going to swear in this and that kind of stuff. But it's just like, it's like 2 minutes long of me just doing weird, like behind the scenes stuff that you don't see. Like I try to maintain a pretty serious personality on my videos I'm doing about news or comparisons or whatever. But in between takes, especially when Dana's around. If I'm filming with Dana too, like things get wild. Like it's just
I'm sure. Well, what's funny, I didn't even think about this, but when Brandon was doing his nitrous video before we went to the track, I was filming some stuff too on my car because my car was up there. So like we were both filming. We weren't, and then like you see in his video, I'm filming while he's lifting the seat out of the car and stuff, and then he was finished and went in, and then I was filming something else. It was kind of thinking like I bent over to get something, and I would like kind of squeeze the fart out bags and on camera. I guess you could say fart on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't. And I
laughed at myself so hard.
I didn't hear it.
And then I was like, I need to put that on like a quick outtake because
I'm gonna have to start calling these Corvette Weeklies outtakes.
It was the fact that I laughed like a 12-year-old over it. That's what was so funny to me. I don't know what. Brandon was already gone in bed. I was all by myself.
I didn't even know what was going on, to be honest. I
I
was
know,
so
and I
lucky
didn't
in
either.
on
Like
that.
when we were doing it, because we were both working so much, scrambling.
That
But
was
no, after you'd gone to bed, I did, and I laughed so hard at myself. And I thought, I gotta, and that's what I said. Like I didn't encourage it, but like I thought that at that moment, like you said, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna file that clip away because one
Yeah,
day
right.
that's gonna be a good outtake.
Yeah.
Justin. Did I tell you? I walked outside and my tire was flat. I literally had a slit,
Oh
nothing in it,
yeah,
like no nail, just a random slit on the inside of my tire. Like I'd run over like something that punctured it.
Yeah.
And literally, I'm having to deal with that literally minutes, but we're already late to get to the track. Like
yeah,
this is like track day. We're like 20 minutes late, and then I see my tires flat, and I've got a. This is the racing Toyo tires. They're not really drag radials, but they're as good as you can get for non-drag
yeah.
radials. And so then I'm having to deal with that. So literally having to pump the tire up between passes because I
Between
couldn't hold
Oh,
air.
runs,
I was wondering what you
yeah.
meant by that.
Yeah,
Either
I
you
was
had
having to
mentioned
air it
that
up.
or
I would lose 5 psi every pass. Like that's how
Yep.
much
yeah.
air was coming out of these, and I'm still making passes with them because I didn't
Which
have
is
any other
crazy
choice.
because the first track day we did, he had a hole in his regular tire that he had to
Right,
patch before he came over.
Yeah.
And then on this track day, he had a slit on the ends that you can't patch
sidewall.
because it's
Yeah,
on the sidewall. So you
yeah.
can't patch those. So I was like, just take them off. We'll put the stock ones back on. We'll fill it up. And we did. We took the little air pump and we filled it up in between runs. And that
I
was
Well,
kind of
probably
one of the
pumped it up
limiting
like 10
factors.
times that day, like
it's
literally
kind of
10 times.
funny that you would have that problem because I made a bunch of videos God, since probably around June of this, maybe a little earlier than June. And every time I made a video, I'd get in my car and I'd notice my front driver's side tire the air was going down. So I was like, there must be a nail or something in there. So I just kept filling it up. And of course, every time I made a video, someone would say, "Oh, your front left tire is low." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Like there's a nail in it or something."
Right.
So finally, I find it, and there's a nail in it, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to the dealership for the oil change and the transmission filter change whenever I had that done. And while I was up in the air, I asked the tech, I was like, "Could you patch that for me?" He walks up to it, he's like, "Nope, that's a new tire." And I was like, "You're kidding." Because it wasn't even in like the shoulder, it was just like barely past the flat part of the tire, basically.
Oh,
And I looked at him, I was like, "You can't patch that?" And he's like, "Not here, I can't." But he's like, if you go home and patch that, you'll be fine. I just can't do it for legal
no, Brandon's
reasons.
was in the video. You can see like it was in the tire, but this one was just a slit. Like there wasn't even anything in it. It looked like Brandon said, like he had hit something that just kind of at an
Punctured,
angle
like
punctured
stabbed
it. It
it,
was
or
just
came
this little
out after
slit.
the fact. I don't know.
Yeah, but that and then I had these new wheels and weld wheels and tires for my Challenger, and they were rubbing on the fender wheel, and they looked like I was doing 1,000-yard burnout, and so that we had all our problems.
Nice.
Nothing went well.
So I got a comment on this comment. Professor Corvette says, "We'll buy more intakes if you give us some outtakes." I love the mentality of some like this is the same level that I'm on. So when I hear this kind of stuff, it's like dad jokes. I think dad jokes are some of the funniest
Yeah.
jokes on the planet. So
Exactly.
You remember
Oh,
Well, and
Chuck
honestly,
Norris
we
jokes?
can, guys, we can be bought. So
Did you ever like the Chuck Norris
if you want
jokes?
outtakes, we can be bought.
what'd you say, Brandon?
I said, did you ever like the Chuck Norris jokes? Remember when they used to be funny?
Yes.
That used to be like a whole thing.
I still
Oh,
think they're
yeah.
funny.
It's been like 15 years ago.
One of my
I
favorite
do too.
shows.
Greatest, dude.
One of my favorite shows growing up was Home Improvement, and I don't think anybody does a better dad joke than Tim Allen.
Than Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
No, I remember those Chuck Norris jokes, man. Those were great.
Yeah. Larry Anthony, look at that. Look at that green name you got going on there now. That's awesome. He says,
Love
"Hey,
that.
General, dude, was busy. Just saw your shout out." Let's see. What did I miss here? I did see somebody asking about leather or Alcantara seats. I'm going to try to find that. Oh, here. Wheeler O'Hara. Can someone tell me the pros and cons of microfiber inserts versus leather on competition seats? So the biggest thing, what happened? Where'd everybody go? Huh. Brendan and David just dropped. That's weird.
There
We're
we
back.
are.
What happened?
I don't know, man. You were talking about like one of the biggest things, and we just disappeared.
All right. Well, one of the biggest things is not them disappearing, but so basically, Wheeler O'Hara says, "Can someone tell me the pros and cons of microfiber seat or inserts versus leather on comp seats?" So I have competition seats. the biggest thing is going to be whether or not you're okay with Alcantara or microfiber, whatever you want to call it. I always just call it Alcantara. If you're okay with that material will stop you from sliding on your seat more. So if you want to be serious about racing or serious about your handling in your car, Alcantara will keep you planted in your seat more firmly through hard turns. So if you're going like this really hard, Alcantara will keep you steady. Now, Alcantara, in my opinion, doesn't wear the best, especially if you're getting any kind of sweat or oil or anything on it. It will start looking matted and gross. It's on the steering wheel, shift knob. That's where it will get really gross. Personally, I don't want Alcantara on any surface I touch, whether that's with my back, my hands, whatever. I don't want to touch Alcantara. On the roof, totally fine with it up there. I don't personally like it for anything that I touch. It does have its purpose, though. Like I said, it will help keep things planted.
And I'll be honest with you. Tell me if I'm not mistaken, Brandon. So all the cars that Ron Fellows most of them were 3LZ.
Yeah.
And they had the Alcantara. And I will say that if you're working and you're sweating, I mean, we've all been there, right? Like I felt like the Alcantara was probably a little bit better.
I liked it better, but
I
like
liked it better on the
Justin said, it's
track.
the
Yeah, I'm not
cleaning.
gonna lie.
It's better when it's new, but after it wears, like on my
It'll
TRXL.
wear.
But I love looking at it. I love the way it feels personally. I don't like the
did
way
too.
that it soaks up the oils. But
Yeah.
if I were to buy again, I would probably buy it because we have the regular leather on, at least on our cars on 1LZ. That would play. I don't even know if it's real leather, whatever it is, but it's the base. And I don't like it as much as I do the Alcantara. I like the feeling of it better. So that's just my.
Yeah, it was
but-
definitely. To me, it was definitely. I would be the same way because I spec'd out a car the other night just looking, and I would put the Alcantara in the interior for sure.
2020 Matrix 8 says, when Chuck Norris steps on a Lego with bare feet, the Lego cries out in pain. That's what I'm saying, man.
That's how it starts.
They're still good.
There we
They're still
go.
good. But ultimately, what kind of comes to mind here with the Alcantara conversation is it is ridiculously a personal choice. I've talked to people who will absolutely have it no other way, and I've talked to people like me who hate it. No, hate's not the right word. I do like it. I just don't want it on surfaces that I touch because it gets matted down too quickly. Now, Brandon likes the feeling of it, he said. So
I like the feeling of it, but I'm with you. Like I like it, but with the oils constantly on the steering wheel, especially, like at some point it'll be like nice and pretty up top, and where you have your hands all the time, it's gonna just look like.
And those cars at Spring Mountain, if they're the one I drove, I believe did have Alcantara on the steering wheel. It looked bad. It was not a good.
Yeah, no,
good look.
you can tell people have been in them. Yeah,
Yeah.
They don't take it easy on
we
those
did
cars.
get Gordon Cruz donated $100, so he gets 20 entries as well. So
There
guys,
you go. Thank
we
you,
are
Gordon.
we're racking them up here, guys. If you guys still want to keep donating, even after the live is over, we are not giving this away until the end of November, so you can continue to donate through Venmo. That link. Just let me know what the donation's for, and you will be counted as well into the giveaway with Paragon. So this is not just for the intakes here. You will continue to accrue the chance to win both items.
How we doing on thumbs up, guys? Come on, you got to see this video, man.
Yeah, I think we're at 120 something. I don't
We're at
know. I
120
can't see exactly where we're at right now. but we were at
126. We got over 160 people watching, so we could definitely get that number up. I really want to hit 200 so we can show this to you guys. So let's do it.
Shane, you're even in the channel, man.
Jeremy says he wants a full Alcantara interior, just like what comes on her cons.
Well, there you go.
What'd you say about Shane?
Yeah.
I said Shane's even in the chat tonight. We got to get 200 thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime Shane's on the channel, we need to do him the service of getting 200 thumbs up.
likes. Yeah, I feel like 200 thumbs up and his name goes synonymously together.
Right, exactly.
I feel the same way. His middle name, I'm pretty sure, is 200 thumbs ups.
It's 200 thumbs. That's his
Shane,
nickname.
200 likes.
200. That's his next tattoo. 200 thumbs.
C8 Nate says, anyone with a 3LZ whose front dash has the leather starting to bubble, just noticed mine has a couple minor bubbles popping up, and my car's only 7 months old. I have not seen that. In my I had a 2020 Stingray and my now 23 Z06. I have not had that issue. That's tough.
Yeah, you need to get that warranty, Nate.
That's what the
I didn't
warranty's
see it
all
the last
about.
time we were
Man.
in your, was it like you can answer in the comments as we go? But was it like that at the track? Do you know, Brandon?
What
The bubbling on his leather.
No, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. Let me know if it was on there when we were at the track because I didn't see it, Nate.
Nate,
So,
did you
but you need to get that warranty, bro.
Did you get window tint, Nate?
Well, his car's outside all the time, right? It's not in a garage, or is it in a garage?
No, he's got a garage.
Well, the only reason I'm asking is that the window tint will typically protect from UV damage, and that will help at least slow that process down.
But still, goodness, if 7 months, man, I'd have that.
I can't remember if he has window tint or not, to be honest with you, Justin.
He does.
I think
He
he got it at Carlisle though, didn't he?
That's right.
Yeah, he didn't have it.
and
He hasn't had it for long. Yeah, I wonder if that
he got it at
my
Carlisle.
car literally got it. I think within the first week of owning it.
Mine got it at delivery before bringing it home.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
So,
Literally.
yeah.
There was another question here. Morris says, "What's up, guys? Keep up the good work." What's up, Morris?
Thank you, sir.
Again, guys, if you have a C8 Z06, that is the giveaway for tonight. Technically moving into next month as well. But if you're a Z06 kind of guy, you can win custom painted intakes right here, right now. And every $10 donated gets you an entry. $100 or more is double entries. So, and David will buy back your stock unit. So if you spend $600 on this and you win, you'll get your $600 back and a free intake. So
Can't lose, guys.
You can't lose.
And even if you don't have a Z06, you could win it and then just sell it on eBay and just get a big cash influx.
Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, look, it's your
pick
intake.
a color
Once
that's
you win
popular, like torch red.
Yeah,
I was
torch
gonna
red
say,
and white. Those have been pretty
it's your
popular.
intake. Once you win it, you tell me what you want it painted, we'll paint it. You can do whatever you want with it. I don't care.
Sell it on eBay or whatever, you know.
That's a good idea, man. I didn't even think of that.
So actually what's interesting here is Willer O'Hara brings up a good point. There's a video on YouTube of how to DIY, do it yourself, reglue it on your C8 or C7. And it's funny because the person who made that video is actually in here. Squirrel Cage Garage, or Ken, he's also a member of the channel here. He's the one that made that video. He's the one that shows you can actually use a like a hypodermic needle and basically inject the glue through the leather. That way you don't have to tear out your dashboard.
To take it up. I saw that one actually. I like Squirrel Cage's stuff. I really do.
I know. I'll actually watch some of his stuff this week. Actually,
I do. I like his stuff.
I was looking for access to some of my fuse box, the easiest way to get in through the center console.
Yep.
And I actually watched the video on getting the center console for my nitro switches, and it helped me get good access and figure out how to get into the rear fuse box. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I actually really like watching his stuff. Good job, Squirrel Cage.
He comes across very technical, and usually that's a great thing on YouTube when it comes to DIY. So
yeah, he's got a lot of good stuff. A lot of
does.
the I didn't realize how much stuff he had until it started doing searches and his stuff popped up, and I realized like he's got a lot of technical things that are actually really good videos.
Well, and I actually fell down the Squirrel Cage rabbit hole one night. I saw and I was looking at one, so I then went to his channel and just started like, oh, so yeah.
Yeah,
Good job,
so
Squirrel
technically
Cage.
you helped with my nitrous install because I was trying to figure out the best way to get wiring in to that rear fuse box and trying to figure out if the rear fuse box is better than the front. So it was very helpful. So thanks, man.
I don't know if he's still in here or not, but I know he was in here at some point tonight. So he'll be happy to see this afterwards. There was a question that popped up in here.
And I do like technical. Brendan and I don't come across as very technical sometimes, but we are, and we like technical. We're just a little redneck. That's all.
Not a little. I'd say
who's rolling down the drag strip?
I'm like the 7 out of 10 on the redneck scale, I think.
No, Brandon, you're a 5 or 6 at best.
Okay.
In order to cross over that 7 or 8 plane, you have to fit a certain look. You don't have it.
Do I need a diesel and a mullet?
Yes, you need a diesel.
Well, but there are pictures
with a
of you,
dually.
Brandon. Yes, and there are pictures of Brandon with a mullet in a swimming pool made in the back.
Yeah, I've
of
had a swimming pool in the bed of a truck. Does that count?
with a mullet. So
all right, that does start up the number. Yeah.
That was it was for a Halloween party, so it wasn't like
it was funny as hell though.
Yeah, all right, guys. So let's talk a little bit about what this video is really about. We've pushed this really far past. Professor Corvette says, 24 production numbers. Let's talk about some C8 Corvette information here because we got a little off topic, but it was a good time. So I'm going to bring you over to the Corvette blogger, where we're going to go over all the numbers for the 2024 model year. So this includes Stingrays, E-Rays, and Z06s. And honestly, I was pretty blown away by some of these numbers. I did not think
I was just gonna say, some of them stand out crazy.
Yeah. So right off the bat, we're going to start here with the 2024 Corvette breakdown Stingray. 30,942. So almost 31,000 Stingrays were made in 2024. That's pretty good considering when you see the rest of these numbers, they're pretty good too. So 72% of the C8 manufacturing was done specifically for the Stingray in 2024. Moving down a little bit more, the Z06. This is where I was pretty impressed. 25% of all C8s made in 2024 were Z06s. So 10,575.
That's
So
a huge number. That one blew me away. Yeah, that one blew me away. I didn't think they were cranking them out like that, but that's probably the car right now they're making the most money on.
It is. Yeah.
That's where the prices all dropped too.
And yes, it is. This is how many they made is why you can get these cars now for under MSRP. But just those two alone, and we are well over 40,000 cars made in 2024, which is crazy whenever you think back to 2020 when they could barely make like 1,000. Like,
right.
We are now making well over 40,000. And of course, the last car for the E-Ray for 2024 is still 1,417. So not that that's a massive number there, but they're still ramping up E-Ray production. So only 3% in 2024 were E-Rays. Now, they have already started shipping 2025, so obviously we're done with the 2024 number here. But this is pretty impressive whenever you really add these numbers up and come up to, 42,000-ish?
Well, yeah, and honestly, too, the thing that stuck out the most to me, it wasn't long ago when they announced the 700 and something E-Ray.
Yeah.
And then they doubled that from sometime late spring or something. They doubled that until the end of model year. That's actually the one that stuck out to me the most, was that they were at 700 and it was a big deal. And all of a sudden, boom, they're double that. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, you could actually go to a showroom and buy one finally on E-Ray. You couldn't do that before.
I've seen some of them listed now, yeah.
Well, you know what's funny is that the second that the E-Ray was available, I knew of at least one dealership that had one sitting on the showroom floor, and they had it sitting there for 2 months before it sold. And it was MSRP, and it was one of the very first ones. It was the salesman that was there was texting me about it, and I was just like, I can't believe that hasn't sold yet. And not marked up, it was MSRP, and it was just sitting there, and it was a decent spec too. I was pretty surprised.
Crazy, Justin? You know your buddy that's got the twin turbo? I can't remember his name. Dave? What's his name? That's got the twin turbo gray E-Ray that was selling his car.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew. So his car's still up for sale. The last I looked, I thought that would sell.
And this is another thing. This is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's almost like, I hate to say this because everybody already assumes I hate the E-Ray when I don't. But there's not a giant market for it seems. And I know I'm gonna get like 30 emails after this about people telling me I have E-Ray hate, but I don't.
Nate's already put something in the comments that we can't read.
I do not hate the E-Ray, and honestly, I have a video coming out soon with Nate's E-Ray from Corvettes at Carlisle. I've just been taking forever to make this, but I actually really enjoyed driving his car. It's an awesome car, but it's there is, number one, you're selling a car that just has a stigma for older people. Older people buy the Corvettes. It's that simple. The last thing an older person wants is anything with battery powered in it. Like, that's the biggest problem. Now, I actually heard somebody recently tell me that the E-Ray has actually brought in a much younger crowd as purchasing it. And even with Nate, obviously he's on the younger side of things. I don't know anybody who bought an E-Ray that's older. Almost everybody that bought an E-Ray is on the younger side of it. So I'm wondering if that's what GM's whole idea was.
And honestly, like you said, Nate spec'd his car nice.
Yeah.
That is a badass car.
He's like max spec, except for like
max spec. Yeah. And the other thing too, I think though, that kind of some of the people I talked to were more like, well, I don't know, how long is the battery going to last? But this is the first time GM's done anything like this. I think that scared a lot of people initially, was that it's a completely new area for the Corvette.
Yeah.
Right now, GM's done hybrids and stuff, yes, but not like they've done it from a performance standpoint specifically. This is not a
Right.
fuel economy, weather.
And that
this
might
is
be
a performance.
that might be another thing that scared people away early on, is that people were showing pictures of their infotainment system showing how much miles per gallon that they've saved, and it was like 1. And
Right.
Yeah,
Because
because
it's not
that's
made
not
for
what
that.
it's
miles
built
per
for.
gallon.
Yeah.
Right.
Much, yeah, it's not the point of it. And it doesn't really do much because I think
Right.
Nate and I get very similar miles per gallon on the way to Carlisle. It wasn't
Yeah.
like you get
So,
that big
My
improvement.
big thing is, and obviously you guys know how I feel about black cars, but my big thing is whenever I drove and got to sit in Nate's car, his car's spec'd almost identical to mine. Like, there's nothing not to like about that car. Plus, he has the
Yep. I
track
love Nate's
the
car.
track exhaust on it. Like, it doesn't. Yeah, the Z06 has a great sound, but at the same time, it's not like the Stingray has or the E-Ray has a bad sound. Like, it's still
Oh
great.
no. And
But-
with that AWE, Nate's
Yeah.
car sound good.
Yes, it does. So anyway, my point here is they're making a very low amount of E-Rays. There's got to be a reason. Whether it's a problem with production, a problem with the car, a problem with something, or they're doing it on purpose and they want to keep the amount of people that buy the E-Ray down. I mean, there's got to be a reason for this.
My prediction though is since it went from 7 whatever to 1,400 in a pretty short amount of time, my prediction is 2025 does double that, if
Yeah.
not more. I think 2025 they're
Without a
5,000
doubt.
plus E-rays.
Without a doubt.
Easy.
Because
And then
ultimately
we're helping that when we get out there and show how fast those E-rays
Yeah.
really are and how quick they are. Like, they're badass cars.
Yes,
guys.
they
Don't
are.
sleep on those E-rays.
No. And that's the thing, is it's like the more that they produce of this, the more that people are going to start understanding that there's a reason, there's a place for this car. Like,
Oh, 100%.
I think
Yeah.
one of the places is drag strip. Honestly, that car is
100%. That's a
strip.
drag strip car all day. But like
Yep.
Paul Yunker here, and this is the kind of stuff that nobody seems to get, because everybody just assumes that since I like the Z06 that I hate the E-Ray, and that is not even close to true. But Paul says it best: you can like the E-Ray, but prefer the Z06. Like that, and that's exactly where I'm at with it. Especially supercharged E-Ray here. You guys have seen his car.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't get
Dude,
any
that
freaking
car-
more monstrous than that thing. And that is an absolutely beautiful car, set up really nicely, fast as all get out. There's nothing not to like. So yeah,
And if you stay out of the fun pedal, you wouldn't even know that thing's a monster like
Right.
that. That car is awesome. Yep.
Well, what's funny to me is I have friends of mine that are pretty big into cars. Like, they're pretty big car guys, and they don't know that. We'll have like group threads going, and they'll ask questions about the E-Ray. It's like they don't have any clue,
Yeah,
like how
Right.
big the battery pack is,
Yep.
like exactly what it does. Is it a plug-in? Do you plug it in? Do you not? Like, they have the general public, other than Corvette guys, I feel like has no clue really truly what the E-Ray is. So
Nope.
I also feel like GM's kind of like screwed up a little bit on the marketing. They haven't
Yeah,
marketed
they
that car
screwed the
at all.
marketing.
Yep.
Have you seen a commercial for an E-Ray?
Nope.
Like, why
Nope.
are there no commercials? Why is there no
Well,
like
I'll
And the
tell you
other
what.
thing
Facebook ads?
We've talked about this once
Hybrids have always
before.
been-
I don't know if we talked about it on the with you guys or not. I might have been talking about it with Jason and Steve back in the day, but I have not seen like a really good GM commercial on TV since I think it was 2006. So in 2006, they put out an ad for a C6 Corvette, and at the time, the brand new Cobalt SS. And it was a Cobalt that pulled up behind a C6 and pulled forward. It was a Cobalt SS, pulled forward and bumped the back of the C6. So then the C6
I remember
moved
that
forward.
commercial.
Then it bumped it again, and it moved forward again. Then it bumped it one more time, and the Corvette spun, like did half a donut around, and then turned on its headlights like it was looking at the Cobalt, like, what are you doing? And it said that the Cobalt was just trying to find its place in the lineup. And I was like, that is a fantastic commercial, because
I
from that
remember
day
that commercial.
forward, it just resonated with me as like, these are two really awesome cars. And I've owned both of them, because honestly, probably because of that commercial. And
Right.
now they don't make commercials at all. And honestly, I think it's because they're tossing it out to the YouTubers like us,
Yeah.
who are doing all the advertisement for them for free.
Well,
That's why young people are buying it, because young people watch YouTube, right?
Right.
There's another
Well, and the
reason,
other thing,
right?
though, Brandon, like you said, is you made a great point, Brandon, that everybody's associating it with, like, is it a plug-in hybrid? Is it like a traditional hybrid in the sense of fuel kind? GM had nothing to do. They're like, no, this is all performance, and they missed an opportunity
See,
to change the
it's-
perception of that.
It's funny though, because I think, and I've heard this from countless people, I think when people read, older people especially, when they read hybrid, they read full electric. And
Yeah.
I get it all the
yeah.
time. Oh, I'm not driving an electric car. And I'm like, no, that's not really an electric car. I mean, 90% of what that car is doing is still gas powered. It's just giving you the extra assist up front. Almost every one of them think it's full electric.
And the
Can you
only way
imagine
you
if they-
know the limitations of the way the battery drops the power out is the mile an hour of looking at Steven's supercharged E-rate and Brandon's car on the mile an hour in the quarter, right? 9.98 at 138. You know, what I mean, that's smoking. You can't. That's moving, right? But a 9.98 in Brandon's car is going to be 145 because it's still pulling hard up top. Now he has a supercharged whatever, but that battery does drop off, so he can run a 9.98 because he gets out the front end really, really hard. All-wheel drive, battery power, lots of torque, supercharger, all that. But it does become a boat anchor at some point where you're still dragging around 400 pounds, give or take. That's not giving you any performance advantage after that. You know, but from an everyday standpoint, it's freaking genius. It's awesome.
Well, can you think of the commercial? You got the guy in his suit. He's going out to work. He's in a neighborhood, suburban neighborhood, whatever. Gets in the car, turns it, has it quiet, just quietly leaves the neighborhood, and then has the engines popping on. Like that's a commercial. I don't understand why GM would like.
I know that
would be the perfect commercial.
What you just described is exactly what I could see if they were still in the mindset of making a commercial. They could make exactly that. But
you better copyright that quick, Brandon.
Professor Corvette says GM has outsourced all Corvette marketing to YouTubers. And as weird as that sounds, it really is. And nobody necessarily signed on for that. Like I didn't get anything in the mail one day saying, hey, do you want to advertise for GM? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it and check a box and send it back. It just happened. Like YouTubers are just doing it without even knowing that they're doing it. Like even us just talking about these cars now, we're advertising for GM. Right. And all we're doing is just sitting here having a conversation.
Yep. Well, and they give away early cars to like the big channels and things like that. That you know they get these people out there early and they just hype them. So yeah, you're right, it is. But still, that big commercial, that Super Bowl ad, where like Brandon said, the guy gets out and then goes all quiet, and then it gets to onto the highway to go to work, and it just turns into a monster. Like, come on, that would be awesome.
Yep. All right, so let's look at a couple more of these breakdowns here because the production numbers for 2024 we're not quite done. Where things get actually pretty interesting for me is whenever we start talking about the differences in body style here. The Stingray Coupe and the Stingray Convertible are actually relatively far apart. 42.2% for Coupe, 29.8% for Convertible, while the rest of them, the Z06 and the E-Ray, are super tight.
50-50 almost, yeah.
Almost 50-50, yeah. So it's like...
That's what blew Brandon and I away.
Yeah, that's odd to me that the Coupe for the Stingray would have been that much more popular. But on the Z06 and E-Ray, it was deadlocked.
I wonder if it's the budget cars, the 1LZ cars, like the cheapest ones, the guys that want to just get it for 60-something thousand. I wonder if that's why they're just buying the Coupes and the Stingray, because that market's probably wanting to spend a little less money. Maybe that's why there's just a disparity. I don't know. That is odd.
I can't tell you the amount of people that I've gotten email me and tell me about their Z06 builds, and almost every person that emails me about their Z06 build is building. No, they're building Coupe 1LZs specifically for the weight.
That's what Brandon and I did.
Yeah. I like that.
That's exactly what we. And then we took all the seats out and pumped out the windshield washer fluid and took the aero off. And
that's funny.
I'm about to weigh it. I've got scales now, so I have weight. Actual weight on what a stripped 1LZ weighs. I'll have that next week.
So one of the other things
before you put the seats back in it.
One of the other things that's really interesting to me is when we go down to the performance packages. Now, there's a reason for this, and it sucks, but there's a reason for this. So the performance packages, the ZR1 or the Z51 Stingray is 54.8% of Stingrays. The ZER package on the E-Ray is 61.6%, but then the Z06 is only 25.6%. And everybody's like, I wonder why only 25% of the Z06 guys chose the Z07 package.
Constraints.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't get the freaking thing. But if you could,
I would have 100% bought a Z07 package.
If you could have actually got
I would have got sprung for it.
That number would be at least 50% as well. So these packages here between the three, and actually they might break it down later about the 3LZ and stuff, but 3LZ, Z07, Z51, whatever you want to call it, convertibles. That's where GM makes the most money on a 3LZ or a 3LT interior with the performance package. And if you check all the boxes, GM makes the most money. If you get a 1LT non-Z51 coupe Stingray, GM literally, supposedly, loses money on that.
Loses money.
So
Yep, that's what they say.
that's why, as far as GM's concerned, they want you to check that Z07 box. But the problem is that they've had such problems keeping up with carbon fiber in their Z07 package kit that they literally can't offer it but to 25% of the 2024 Z06s.
Yep. Yeah, Brandon and I were both going to get Z07 packages, and they were under constraint. So, and this year when I went to the builder, if you guys haven't played around with it, play around. Now the carbon ceramic brakes are split from the Z07, but you can like kind of a la carte some of those pieces. Now it wasn't like just one package and you got the whole thing.
Yeah. So another interesting part here is the colors and how many people bought what color. Now, this is the first time I've ever seen Arctic White at number 1. It is usually a battle between Torch Red and Black, but Arctic White actually took number 1 here. Red Mist is really high up there, and so is Seawolf Gray.
Red Mist looks good.
Yeah. I was surprised at Seawolf Gray being number 5. I thought for sure that is... I get such negative comments on a video. If I put Seawolf Gray in a video, nothing but negative comments. Like, you guys, a lot of you guys apparently do not like Seawolf Gray, but that is, honestly, that is probably, at this point, if I get a ZR1, I might get Seawolf Gray. That's how much I like that color. So
it is awesome.
But what is really surprising here is where Accelerate Yellow's at.
I know.
It's actually below Cacti. I would have never guessed that one.
No, I would have.
I would have guessed it, but I love the Cacti. So I mean, I would have said that would have should have been higher up. But yeah, no, yeah, but I didn't like that yellow, to be honest.
I know, I never did either. But
now that the new yellow is for 2025, when you see them together, way better, way better. I never really liked that orange, or that yellow had like a greenish kind of weird metallic tint to it. I just really didn't care for it.
Professor Corvette says that Mountain Dew is in negotiations with Horsepower Obsessed for sponsorship. It is a rumor, and unfortunately, it is false because the day I get a sponsorship with Mountain Dew, I'm gonna just randomly one day I'm gonna be filming a video and be like, "Hey, here's my new Lamborghini. Here's my new Bugatti."
Yeah, I'll have to prescribe you I'll have to prescribe you insulin too to go with all.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, someday I'm holding out hope. Someday I get a Mountain Dew Pepsi sponsorship. Yep. Pepsi doesn't mess around with any of these little sponsorships. So if they sponsor the channel, there will be signs. There will be signs.
No, they learned their lesson from the Harrier jet fiascos back in the day.
What's that?
You don't remember that? There was a you could get Pepsi points or something. And
they owe somebody a jet still to this day.
Yeah, because the guy figured out if you bought it, you could literally buy it for like 150 grand because of the way the conversion worked from dollars to points or something.
Yeah.
And they went to a legal battle for like 20 years over that. So Pepsi's like, fuck that.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing in the lineup here, guys. Keep hitting those thumbs ups. Looks like we're at 145. You guys smash the thumbs ups. Donate to win a Z06 intake here, guys. Real quick, if you're just tuning in, I want you guys to see these things because they're phenomenal looking. You can literally win a custom painted intake that will paint your throttle bodies black if you want. The intake itself could be whatever color you'd like. We got a torch red one here. My torch red one on my C8 Z06. Custom colors here. All we need is a sample of what you want to paint it. Riptide Blue, Arctic White, and Sebring Orange. These are just some of the examples I have here to show you. But if you are interested in winning this, every $10 gets you an entry. $100 or more will get you double entries. As of now, we have 5 different people that have entered. And that's not that much. So your odds of winning are pretty good. So if you want to get something that really customizes your car to the point where I guarantee you will get questions about it at car shows, this is where you want to start.
Yep. And again, we said it earlier, if you win, if you put in $500, $600, I'll buy your core from you. If you don't want to keep it and you want to send it back, it'll be for free basically because I'll give you the money for your core. So
yep. So if you donate $500 and you as of now, if you donate $500 right now, you are very likely to win.
You're going to win.
And you're also going to get David buying that stock intake back from you. So you're literally going to have no money in this. So you guys definitely want to consider doing that. But let's talk a little bit more about some other news that we had on the actual title here, so we don't get yelled at for not talking about it. This is over at the Corvette Blogger again, and it's a poll, hot or not. 2025 Hysteria Purple Metallic with the Habanero interior. We've talked about this quite a bit on the channel about how this is the supercar spec. You have a purple exterior, bright orange interior. My only concern is two things. Number one, I think this should be on a wide body car, so an E-Ray or a Z06 to give it that real supercar bump, and competition seats to even out the orange and black. If it had those two things, this is your supercar spec without a doubt. But it still looks pretty good, even on a Stingray. So if we scroll down through this, I think it was actually Zippity's Garage. Yeah, Zippity's Garage actually took some of this, these pictures for us. That looks incredible. That orange looks really good. Now, if those were competition seats, the orange would be swapped. So it'd be black in the center and orange would be more so on the outside. And it looks a little bit better in that setup, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it. I'm still just not a fan of the Hysteria, that it's more, it has that blue. Even Rick Conti commented on it when they had access to the Hysteria, that there was so much blue undertone.
They could
some lights.
They could have definitely done a better job with the purple, but the more I see that in person, I swear from the very first time we saw it at the bash, I swear they made it more purple. Because when I saw it at the bash, I was like, oh, it's way too blue. Then I saw it at Corvettes at Carlisle, and I was like, that's a lot more purple. Like, it's still, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of blue in it, but it's more purple than I remember it being at the bash.
Right. Until Scott's car pulled up, and then
and then I was like, oh, that's purple. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. But you're talking about the Habanero, like with that supercar look.
Yeah.
When I was building on the new builder for 2025, so I could see if I get on, my allocation comes up for 01, it'll be Sebring with, obviously carbon fiber, everything, and then the Habanero, that Sebring and that Habanero.
Yeah.
God, supercar.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so
There's
glorious.
lots of colors. I even think that just the black would look phenomenal.
Black with a Habanero would look insane too. You can
White
see orange
looks good.
calipers.
If you get black, I'm going red dipped with like Jeremy did. If we're going to talk about making an interior that screams supercar, red dipped.
You're going red dipped
with level 2 carbon and comp seats to break up all of the red. It helps add black in. That looks insanely supercar on a black car.
Yeah.
That looks really supercar on a silver flare car too.
I was just going to say the silvers with the Habanero look good. I built a couple of those. They look really good, like the grays and the silvers. But even that, like you're saying, that Seawolf, a Seawolf 01 with a Habanero interior and orange calipers to match that, and then an orange painted.
Orange calipers would look good on Seawolf. See,
heck yeah, dude.
My build as of right now would be Seawolf with red calipers, and
which
probably
we did an intake for a guy who had the Seawolf, and he has the torch red, and it looks unbelievable.
Yeah,
it really does.
I'll tell you, I was at a car show yesterday, and I'm just looking at my Z06, and I'm like, I really don't know if I'd be able to pull the trigger on a 01 and have it not be black. And
you'd have to. You've already got a black 01, a black. You have to.
Yeah, but the problem with that though is, like, I tell everybody, if I buy a black ZR1 and I do the things I want to do to it, I'm gonna pull into my driveway with a car that cost me $100,000 more than the Z06, and no one's even gonna know I got a new car. Like, it looks so similar that people are gonna be like,
unless you get Habanero interior.
Yeah, and they'll only know that until I get my windows tinted.
Well, that wing on the back and like the front,
but the wing, it is obviously bigger, but the wing I have on my Z06 now is 2 inches taller than a Z06 wing. And it's like still
that.
pretty
I comment
big.
all the time on that.
Like, unless you really know what you're looking at, you're not even going to really be able to tell that that's a different car.
Oh, I don't care. I have a black. I'm going Sebring 100%. Sebring, Habanero interior. Woo-wee.
Yeah. JC says, "What's up, Justin? Hope all is well. My 01 will be Seawolf gray, and the interior will be orange with the orange calipers." Yeah, that's the way to do it, man.
That's what I said, man, dude. That
I honestly didn't think much about that on Seawolf until you just mentioned that, David. But that would be a pretty cool combination.
I built a Z06 because it's close enough to the ZR1 that you can kind of get it on the builder the other day at work. I did a Z06 Seawolf gray with orange calipers and Habanero. Oh man, it was lights out. It was so good.
Jeremy says, Justin, they will know you got a different car because they won't be able to hear it. That is unfortunately the truth. Like the ZR1 is definitely going to be more muted than my Z06. I get it. I went to a Halloween show up at Blackout Tinting the other day, and my car was parked inside. And Josh came out and asked me, he's like, could you start and rev your car for these guys? And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. I was like, you got to tell everybody that's standing in there that their ears are going to bleed if you're still standing in there whenever I start.
Inside, yeah.
Yeah, because it's inside in a pretty tight
Yeah.
space. And I was like, let them know, because I've been yelled at car shows before, even after letting people know that I'm about to start this. I've been yelled at because it is really loud. And so they said, yeah, go ahead and do it. So I started it up, and I mean, I'm sitting in the car with the windows up, and I was like, man, that's loud. Like,
yep. Well, and it's the inside too. Like when Brandon's car's on the dyno, because his car's so loud one side, you feel the pressure wave building in the building as his car gets so close to 8,500 RPMs. Yeah.
Let's see.
Where Chevrolet guy asked what's your favorite Corvette. I'm assuming it means like what generation. I'm gonna answer that and just say a late model C3, just from the aesthetics. I love the like 80
Really?
C3. That's probably one of my favorite.
I would have never guessed that, Brandon. So
I love the looks. I don't like the tech of the C3s. I don't like the like.
What about that
small
resto
motors,
mod
but
video
looks-
I did?
What's that?
The resto
That
mod
one was
video I did.
gorgeous. That one we saw at Carlisle,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Is that
Yeah.
the one you picked, Justin? That one? That car was beautiful too.
Well, that was a C3, wasn't it? Or was that a C2?
I thought it was a C2.
I can't remember now.
That's a C2.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a C2.
Okay, so you're saying C3. That's surprising.
Yeah, I'm
That-
saying
that-
C3 like an 80 model, like 88, like
that
1980.
surprises
like,
me. I figured you
Yeah.
would have said C5. Hanging with Shane
Just
says,
because of body lines.
Justin,
I just think they look better.
Justin, you should wrap your car in a Mountain Dew theme. Honestly, if Pepsi contacted me tomorrow and told me your sponsorship
would do
is hinging on this, I would absolutely do it.
There you
I
go.
mean, why not?
I would. Brandon, what's my favorite generation? Body
C7
style.
ZR1.
C6. No,
Nah, he knows.
C606. Huh?
C606. God, those wide body
or ZR1.
transport
I'm not sure which
06s
one you like better.
ZR1s. They're my favorite. I love those things. Man.
Yeah, see, like the C2 that I did the video on, I flat out said in the video, I don't know much about Corvettes before the C5. My knowledge of Corvettes is C5 to C8. So C4, C3, C2, I don't know a lot about them. So when I talked to the guy at Carlisle that owned the C2, that resto mod, the stuff he was able to tell me, and the way he's super passionate about it. The car was beautiful. He has this older car that's been resto modded to be 800 horsepower with current day tech. Like, that's the way I would enjoy an older car, because, like, honestly, if you gave me a stock C2, even if it was pristine, you give me a stock C2, I would have no fun in that whatsoever. None.
Yeah. And Brandon, do you remember those two C3s that were across from us at Carlisle? The one was an LT4.
Yeah.
The black one that had like the
Those were resto
Lamborghini
mods
seats
too,
in
weren't
it.
they?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Remember-
that one that had that color that was just like that pearl.
It was like a Carlisle blue, but it was a pearl with it. Oh,
Yeah, it was. Oh God, it was beautiful.
but those two C3s were absolutely, and the one had orange interior, black car, orange interior, Lamborghini seats.
I was going to say
LT4 from
the
a
black one's the one that
C706.
caught my attention. That thing was gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah. But those,
I think
I'm
they-
with you, Brandon. That's a close second for me. Is those late C3 Stingray look? Yeah.
Wasn't they wanting like 250 or 300,000 for those cars? I mean, not saying they're
yeah.
not worth it, but they weren't cheap.
Oh, that car that I filmed, that C2 resto mod, he had probably $500,000 to $800,000 in that car.
I was just gonna say.
And
he
by
had
the time it's all said and done,
1,500,000.
you're looking at $1 million car, and it's unfortunately not worth a fraction of that. Like, no one's going to pay that for it, but you have that much money into it, so hopefully you plan on keeping that forever. And honestly,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I would never even consider selling that car, so I
Right.
would imagine he would keep it forever. My favorite generation is without a doubt the C7. C7
Yeah.
Z06, C7 ZR1 especially. I think
Yeah.
that is the body style to beat. The C8 Z06 definitely is right there, but it's the C7 is still the winner
Obviously.
for me.
Obviously, yeah. If honestly over your 2019 or a C6 ZR1, I'd take a C6 ZR1, even though the C7's more. Absolutely.
Oh wow, that actually kind of hurts me to hear that, David.
Well, it's a
No.
modern-
And look, they're
from a
both
modern
great. If you had them
perspective.
both sitting there and you said which one, right? Because There's just something about the wide body C6s. To me, the lines are perfection. Nothing. It's just perfect, absolutely perfect. The LS9 is going to be legendary forever and ever. But yeah, the tech in those cars, they're indestructible. Like you can't break them.
That is true. I will give you that. The LS engines are just
Yeah,
more so.
indestructible.
Although the C7 was still kind of on that same plane. I will give you that the C8, especially with the LT6, it's starting to get a little less bulletproof, we'll say. Now, knock on wood, my car has been absolutely bulletproof. I have had
Right.
no issues
Yeah.
whatsoever. But I've heard a lot of people having problems. And
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know if it's just like, it is a production car, so you're going to have some
Yeah.
issues. But
Sure.
I did not hear hardly anybody having an issue with a 19 Z06 or a 19 ZR1. It was just
Right.
like much less
Right.
problematic.
Well, the 1901s are still absolutely insanity. They really are. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real. Like, your car is one thing, but like, look what you can do. Look, what's his name? Street Speed's car.
Yep.
Like, that car probably has 1,500 horsepower to the tire. If he's being honest with people.
Yep.
Like, you can get that out of that car, and you can get it to the ground. Like, it's crazy. But the wide body C6s, that's where it's at.
So, guys, we're going to kind of start to wrap this up. We started a little late, so we're ending a little late. But what I wanted to do real quick before we wrap this up is, as usual, I want to make sure you guys know about the giveaway going on here, because this is something you absolutely are going to want to get involved in. Starting next week, we're going to have a lot of Paragon Performance information here and a Paragon Performance giveaway, which is going to be a $500 gift certificate. So even if you do enter and you don't win the intake, we will run 2 different winners. The second winner will obviously get the $500 gift certificate from Paragon Performance, which, am I allowed to say, David,
What's that?
about the intakes?
Oh, no, Corey's actually going to, we talked about it. Corey's going to drop that bomb.
Okay, so no, not dropping that bomb yet. So anyway, you can win an intake here, which are worth
Yep.
about $3,000. David will buy back your core. If you spend a certain amount of money, you'll literally make money back. And you could possibly win this thing for free. If not, you'll get a $500 gift certificate. Look at these things. Look at that. How could you not be happy with that? That's torch red. Of course, you can be custom painted whatever color you want. These things are awesome. These are definitely something you guys should consider if you have a C8 Z06. But for the time being, we are going to sign off on this. If you want to donate to win, you can still do that even if we're not live. Venmo link is in the chat. Just let me know what the Venmo is for, and that will be that. So, guys, I hope you liked what you saw here. It was always a great time hanging out. We love the interaction, the questions back and forth.
Yeah.
But
and after the video posts and it's not live, put in the comments what your favorite generation is, what your favorite body style is, because I want to read them. I can't see the comments tonight, so everybody put them in, and then I'll go back and watch it so that way I can see what everybody is. I'm really interested to know because I've met a lot of you. So
okay, and one more thing, real quick. You guys stuck around this long. I'm gonna play Brandon's video, even though we didn't
All
get
right.
200 minutes off.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah,
look
guys,
like
you got to
shit.
see this.
We're-
It's
we're-
worth
we're
sticking
gonna-
around. Thank you for
Covering
sticking around.
antifreeze and stuff, so just FYI.
Was in core mode, so now I'm gonna have it in C mode, which will be with the valves open. That was with my valves closed.
What are these pencils in a backpack? They all have different colors.
I can't hear it, but I hope it sounds good.
All right, so if you guys didn't catch that, that thing is spitting flames during the day.
Fire.
During the day that were very visible. Now, normally the C8 Z06 will spit flames, but what you get is like a hot blue, and it's only visible at night. I saw a lot of orange in that one. Like that is
Yeah.
a fireball shooting out of his exhaust.
Brandon, you have to do that at night, man. Like,
Oh,
you
dude,
have
I'm going to,
repeat
man.
it.
It's going to be insane. Like, I
You
don't know.
have to.
Yeah.
And
I don't
it
know why.
sounds
I guess
so
it's maybe
good.
a little. It's running a little more rich. I'm not sure why it's so much more prominent with those headers. But
There's
for
just
whatever
there's
reason, it
nothing
is.
stopping it. There's nothing stopping
No,
it.
it's amazing.
It's literally a
It's
straight
basically
pipe.
unburnt. It's the unburnt mixture coming out because it's 2 feet from the manifold.
Right.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah. Brandon or Bill says you were clearing the leaves. Freaking F1
Yes.
car. Like, that's the thing. Is like the more you do with this car, the crazier and more impressive it is. I don't understand it.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
car is insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And honestly, if you're standing behind his car 10, 15, 20 feet, it blows your clothes. You feel that like it moving your clothes.
Paul Yunker
It's crazy.
says flamethrowers are a controlled item. All right, guys. I just wanted to share that with you real quick for those of you who stuck around. So
Absolutely.
that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys same time, same place next Monday night.
See ya.
See you, everybody.